the morning after, the day before, I'm asking myself, am I still feeling the same way I felt leaving the game yesterday? Let me think. Yes, I am absolutely fed up after that game. Cannot believe how poorly we played there. I really don't get it. After being beaten by Watford, which I kind of get, I felt that the players against Watford were, oh, we just turn up, we beat Man United, we can beat anybody, blah, blah, blah. And you come up against Andre Gray and Troy Deeney and they bully you out of it and the players didn't react. But after that game, you think, well, actually, Poch is saying some good stuff here. He's saying, these players need to have a look at themselves and get themselves right into the game because, you know, you can't carry on like that and expect to win stuff. So I was thinking, right, okay. So we've now got Liverpool, second best team in the country according to all the media. They've spent a lot of money and everyone's saying, well, look at what Liverpool done. Look at what Liverpool have done. They saw their weaknesses and they fixed them. Okay, only time's going to tell that, I guess. So I'm thinking, right, this is against Liverpool. Players have got to be up for it. Poch has got to be up for it. He's got to be saying to these guys, right, now's your time to prove that you could be contenders. You're underrated contenders. And I've always maintained, we've got a good team, got a good squad. And I was one of those people that went, well, if we don't need to sign anybody, don't need to sign anybody. And there's reasons around that. But that's for a different video. So I'm looking at the team sheet and I'm thinking, okay, looks pretty good. Winks is back in the starting lineup. I thought, okay, I like Winks, good player. I think he's got a real good future in that. And he does tend to give a little bit more drive. Lucas was still playing, great. Harry's still in, great. And I'm looking around, I'm thinking, actually, that's not a bad side. Apart from the obvious with Michel Vorm. For me, I just think he seems too content to sit on the bench. Now, that might be totally wrong. He might be chomping at the bit to get in the team. And apart from the mistakes he made yesterday, there was a couple of times where he saved us. So it's not all bad, but I just feel like he's not really looking to be the number one. He knows he's there to cover for Hugo. So what does that say, really, So I'm looking at the other keeper and I'm thinking, well, why aren't we giving him a go? He's a young fella, he's keen and all the rest of it. Maybe he should be getting a go now. Maybe if Vorm is just the backup man, maybe he should just be the backup man and we should be giving someone else a chance. Okay, might have been a risk against Liverpool, I suppose. So you could argue it both ways, really. But for me, Vaughan was always the weak link when I looked at the team. But I say, I'm watching the game. I'm up in 2-4-3 behind the goal. And I don't think there's a bad view of Wembley pitch. But I'm watching Liverpool and that, and I'm thinking, well, this is the second best team, is it? I spoke to Chris Cowlin after the game, and I said to him, well, if they're the second best, then I'm a monkey's uncle, because I didn't think they really offered anything. I've seen some other blogs talking about them pressing and stuff like that. Well, I didn't really see that. I didn't really see it as they were really pressing. The way I saw it was Dembele seemed to give the ball away a lot. Like his legs seemed to go. So he kept the ball, he kept players off him. But when he went to go forward, he just didn't seem to have the legs to do it. So, and he gave the ball away a fair bit. I know Dyer as well was getting a fair bit of stick about it, giving the ball away. But then everyone seemed to be giving the ball away. Trippier giving the ball away, which is unlike him. So around the midfield, I felt that we were really lightweight. Ericsson, he doesn't get a lot of criticism, to be fair. But it was said last season a lot that he seemed very lightweight, you know. He can do some magic on the ball, but he gets pushed off it too easy. And that was all too apparent yesterday. So, with Dembele not having the legs, Ericsson getting pushed off, Winks coming back from injury and not really having a lot of gas to keep going, seemed really lacklustre in the middle. And we kept giving the ball away. For me, I looking at it and I'm seeing Danny Rose on the left there in acres and acres of space every time. And occasionally they'd ping it out to him. But he didn't seem to want to beat anybody. He didn't seem to want to really take it on and attack anyone. He was kind of holding back. And then again, he'd come to nothing and we weren't getting anywhere. So for me, that was really, really disappointing to see. That there was an outlet there. We were using it, not as much as I felt we should have done, but we were using it and it was just, not really coming to anything. Harry again, he still seems beyond the pace. Whether he needs a rest or not, I don't know. I mean, he does, to be fair, start off the seasons slow. Doesn't score in August and all the rest of it. Well, he scored in August now, but, he's struggling in September. Well, maybe it's just the way he is coming back from pre-season, especially with the World Cup and everything. And I'm sure that Harry will find his feet again, and I'm sure he will be an absolute asset to the team going forward. It was good to see Lucas really up for it. But you can't be pinging long balls up to him and expecting him to beat the first man, especially if you've got no one backing him up. He's only a little fella, but he competed, and I think everyone was recognising that he got a real sort of rousing. What's the word I'm looking for? I guess he got the crowd going, so they reacted to him. And it was real rousing. Because Wembley itself, it is so dull. You cannot get anything going on. You can't get anyone singing and all the rest of it. It's really dull and dire. It's a soulless bowl. It's about as much atmosphere as there is on the moon. And there's people singing, there's people trying to sing and that, but it just doesn't seem to get anywhere. Whether that's because people are chopping and changing around the seats. No one's in their same seat all the time. You ain't got that camaraderie. I don't know. To be fair, there wasn't a lot to sing about, but when Lucas give it, come on, they did react to him. Lamella coming on, giving a bit of impetus. It was good to see him score because he hasn't scored for a while. Lots of huff and puff, but didn't actually do anything. So good to see him get on the score sheet. And again, having Sonny coming back, that's got to be a positive. But really, really disappointing game. If you can't get up against a team like Liverpool, then that's a worry, for me. Liverpool fans are a nightmare. They're going to be on this stream and they're going to be abusing me, I'm sure. But they are a nightmare. Outside of London teams, they are the one team that everybody dislikes. No one wants them to win anything because their fans are so entitled and so deluded, And they say that about us, I guess, Tottenham fans, we're deluded. We think we're better than we are and all the rest of it. Maybe that's true, I don't know. But for me, I just... They're all being lauded and believing their own hype, but I didn't think they were that good, A good team, second best in the league, someone like Man City would have buried us, 5 or 6-0 there today because there was just no effort at all. So for them to be the second best, I don't think it's all that. I think their goalkeeper's suspect. I think he can be beaten. He likes to flounce about a bit, and I think that's going to be something they'll have to look at when they come up against some really good sides. Just really disappointed that we weren't one of them yesterday. To add insult to injury, coming back with the South Dorset Spurs boys, our minibus broke down. in South Ruislip. I've got to get that right because I kept calling it West Ruislip, but it was South Ruislip. So we ended up spending 4 hours in the pub because of my broken rib that I did chasing my dog the other day. I didn't go drinking. But we sat in a pub full of QPR fans and Chelsea fans. Great. As we walked in there, all in our Tottenham t-shirts and all the rest of it, it was a little bit unnerving initially, but it was all right. It was all right. But we had to wait 4 hours for the minibus to get to us all the way from Weymouth to take us all the way back again. So that was an interesting day after setting out at 7 o'clock in the morning. But hey ho, we support the team again. We move on and see what happens at the next game. And hope that the players get a rocket and decide that they are actually going to turn up and do something. Because I don't think we can take much more of this. It's not us to sit back like that and just give in. And I think, as soon as you start doing that and turning in poor performances, add to that the lack of investment, add to that the fact that we're not in our new stadium. There's not a lot to be happy about as a Spurs fan at the moment, is there? So we just have to keep the faith. And as we say, up the Spurs.